Being an artist takes courage, but not in some vague inspirational way. It takes courage in a really specific way because being an artist actually asks things of you that most of the things in life never will. I've been painting for a long time and I've worked with hundreds of artists. And one thing I know for sure that the ones who grow are not necessarily the most talented ones. They are the ones that are most courageous. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what that looks like and talk about 7 specific moments where courage is the thing standing between you and the work that you're actually capable of making. Because once you name them, they get a little bit easier to face. All right, let's start with vulnerability because I think that's the most obvious one. And it's also the one that might be the hardest for most of us. So, to make abstract paintings that actually connect with people, paintings that mean something, you have to share something real. So, you have to be willing to put part of yourself into your paintings, okay? So, your perspectives, the things that move you, sometimes even the things that scare you. And that is not something small to ask of you. For years, I painted over things that scared me the most. I would get something onto canvas that I loved because I knew it was honest. It felt alive and it felt real. But then I would just cover it up because I didn't believe what was inside me was worth sharing. I thought it was too much, that I was too much. I thought it was too personal and that no one would want to see it. And when I finally stopped covering up and started sharing that work, people connected to it in ways that I had never expected. And I'm not going to lie, it still felt like I was stepping off a cliff every single time. But that vulnerability, it's a phase that you need to move through. And you just need the courage to get started because when you do, things get easier. So, does that mean that criticism will never be a thing? No, criticism happens all the time. I mean, I've had random strangers look at my work and say, my child could have done that, right? I've also had painters that do realism look at my work and say, that has nothing to do with art. And that's happened to me more than once, especially online. So, it's different people, the same dismissal. And I think that you have to just be able to hear it, feel the sting of it, and move on. And, I think it also takes a particular kind of resilience that I don't think we talk about enough. Because this isn't just about developing thick skin. It's all about being confident in who you are as an artist and knowing that you paint well enough and that other people's opinions don't have to become your truth. And anyhow, that criticism isn't the hardest criticism at all, because the hardest criticism is actually the criticism that lives inside of you. Self-doubt is like quieter than a stranger's remark, but it does way more damage. It's that little voice that tells you that you're not good at this, that everybody else understands something that you don't, that other artists have it all figured out and you're the only one still guessing. And you may even think that you're not built for this, right? And it takes courage to keep painting through all of that, to show up in front of your paintings again and again and again, even when you don't feel like you're a real artist. You know what I think? I think that fears like this would stop other people from pursuing their passion altogether. So here's something that I wish I knew way earlier in my learning process, because the creative process that you're in the beginning is never finished. You don't reach a point where you like all of a sudden have everything figured out. You keep learning and you keep evolving. And you have to do that if you want to keep moving forward with your art, because if you stop, you'll just stay where you are. So even after years of painting, sometimes especially after years of painting, you're still making things that don't work. So embracing failure is not like just a nice idea, it's a requirement. And I think that the courage is in not letting failure mean something permanent about you. I think it's more about understanding that a painting that didn't work is not evidence that you can't paint. because it is the actual work of becoming an artist. I mean, that is how we learn. We learn through failure. So every single painting that you make that doesn't work is teaching you something. So why is it? Why is it that we fail? So one of the reasons could be that we take risks before we have the tools, right? One of the things I constantly see in my students is the fear of taking risks. And, I even saw this in myself and my own art journey. And it's because we're asked to take risks with our work long before we have the tools that would make those risks feel way safer. So you have to put things on canvas before you understand why they work. You have to make decisions that you can't fully defend yet and that really feel uncomfortable. And most artists avoid that discomfort. They want to wait until they feel really safe and ready, right? And they're probably still waiting because the courage lies in going anyway, even if it means failing. But here's one thing that I think is even harder, and it took me a really long time to understand. It actually takes courage to sit down and look honestly at a painting that isn't working, to resist wanting to cover it up or even abandon it, and to just sit with it and look at it and see what's there. Look at what's missing or what you did that you thought would work and didn't. For many years, my response to this was just to reach for a paintbrush and to paint over it because, I was afraid and frustrated, and I had no idea what my painting actually needed. So what I teach today is the opposite of that instinct. It's a way of looking, a way of really seeing that replaces the impulse to cover up your paintings with the ability to understand. But even when you have those tools, it still requires courage to look honestly because you have to move out of your own emotions. Because no matter what you do, when you look honestly at your painting, what you see is always the truth. And then we have the uncertainty that comes with experience. So after a while of painting, you're going to evolve. If you keep painting, your paintings are definitely going to change over time. And with that comes uncertainty. So putting your foot into something that is unknown is really hard, but it's also where you make your best work. So finding the courage to put one foot into something uncertain is absolutely something that we as artists have to deal with. And as I said at the beginning of this video, it's not like you're like, everything after you've been painting for years. You don't. Because you're going to evolve and new things are going to be showing up on your canvas. So here's what I know. That vulnerability, the exposure, the risk, the not knowing, it comes with something on the other side. It comes with the freedom to create something that only you can create, to express something in the exact way that only you can express it. Because it comes from your personality, your heart, your perspective, your specific way of seeing the world. And there's no one else that has that. No one else can make a painting like you can. And the more courage you bring into your work, and the more willing you are to look at it honestly, and to stay in that uncertainty, to share what scares you, the more unmistakably yours your work is going to become. That alone, in my opinion, is worth being courageous for. All right, so if you're someone who wants to build that kind of clarity that makes all of this feel less like guessing and more like choosing, I have a free resource for you. It's called the Clarity Kit. It's a checklist and a 3-part workshop, and it gives you eyes to see what your canvas actually needs so that you can make decisions with confidence instead of guessing. You can find the link in the description below. All right, guys, as always, it was great spending time with you, and I can't wait to see you again next week.